And here's another reason why we should do all we can to save lives. Because once lives are lost, then that's that. There is no undoing death. Every now and then, I come across posts on social media where people say they regret not being able to say a final goodbye, or not being able to tell "I love you" to a dead parent for one last time. People often talk about missing getting a call from a parent, or longing to listen to their voice one last time. Coping with death is never easy. And there are some deaths you perhaps never really get over. It's probably the hardest thing on this planet. So it becomes news when big tech starts looking for ways to encash your grief. Case in point, Amazon. It is promising to bring back the voice of the dead. Amazon says Alexa will soon be able to mimic the voice of a deceased person. The idea is extremely disturbing. It was unveiled at Amazon's AI conference in Las Vegas. In a video, a child was shown asking Alexa, "Can Grandma finish reading me The Wizard of Oz?" Here's what happened next.
Alexa, can Grandma finish reading me The Wizard of Oz?
Okay. But how about my courage? Asked the lion anxiously. You have plenty of courage, I am sure, answered Oz. All you need is confidence in yourself.
This was Alexa reading the book in the child's grandmother's voice. Amazon says the product is inspired by the pandemic. Since a lot of people lost their loved ones, Amazon is trying to make their memories last. Let's introduce you to Rohit Prasad. He's Amazon's head scientist. Listen to him talk about this feature.
This required invention where we had to learn to produce a high-quality voice with less than a minute of recording versus hours of recording in a studio. The way we made it happen is by framing the problem as a voice conversion task and not a speech generation task.
What this means is you can ask Alexa to sing a song in your grandmother's voice and it will obey. You can ask Alexa to sing a lullaby in a dead parent's voice, or program it to always speak in your deceased partner's voice, and it will be like he or she never left. You see, this technology is not new. It has been around for a while now. But never has it been so easily accessible. Do you know why? Because it can be dangerous. What Amazon is trying to do is play with people's weakest nerve. This will make it impossible for people to overcome grief. We've all heard stories of people struggling to come to terms with someone's death. People wake up believing the deceased will come back. They spend their days waiting for the doorbell to ring. Denial is the initial stage of grief, and it's normal. But living in denial forever is not normal. And Amazon may be promoting that. A child could get hooked to the voice of a deceased grandparent thanks to Alexa. This opens a parallel world, one where the grandparent is still alive. The child may never be able to come to terms with reality again thanks to Alexa. You see, grieving the dead is like a rite of passage. It is the most stressful, painful event in a person's life, and it's something that everyone must go through sooner or later. Each year, 5 to 9% of the human population loses a close family member. How do people respond? Normally with denial to begin with, then comes the next stage. Psychologists call this stage bargain. This is where people start reliving the final moments. They think of ways the family member could have been saved, things like what could have been done differently. That's a question you ask yourself. The next stage includes trouble sleeping and eating, feeling fatigue, spells of crying. And it's also common to feel helpless, powerless, or angry. A person usually goes through all of these stages before she finally comes to terms with the loss, and then starts moving on. Interfering with this process could hit a person's mental balance. What a grieving person needs is to spend time with family and friends, not to start finding the lost family member in an electronic device. You may have heard life coaches say it's okay to talk about what you miss about a deceased person. It's okay to cry. But you know what's not okay? To find comfort in an Amazon device. Products like this blur boundaries between reality and fiction, and they make it hard for people to let go, and that cannot be good. Think about it. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.